going to sit down.
Or you can always sign up again. We can just
Hello.
Okay. Questions will come through over here on the chat
Okay.
if they have anything.
All right. So, yeah, I'm actually representing users who live with cognitive disabilities, partially because, well, totally because I grew up in a family with generations of cognitive disabilities, and including epilepsy and mental illness, and got very used to what it was like to navigate life with a cognitive disability. And so some of the work that I've done in my career has focused on how people take in information differently on websites. You know, content management really matters when people live with cognitive disabilities. Having things that are intuitive and easy to comprehend, having websites that are not totally cluttered. When I worked in government, we always used to deal with people that wanted to use websites as filing cabinets for like every back copy of newsletter that they had ever created. So it's things like that that can really create really hampered accessibility for someone who lives with a cognitive disability. All the basic things that you're taught about content management and being clear, simple language, limited use of acronyms, white space on a page are really helpful to people who live with cognitive disabilities. Was interesting conversation. I have a question from Bree. Any recommendations on creating alternative text? I find it difficult to teach content strategists to think outside of traditional standards for digital accessibility. Actually, this is a good question to ask me because part of the work that I did for state of Minnesota was to teach a group of people how to write alternative text tags and how to write alternative text tags about things that they knew nothing about, like certain graphics and maps and schematics that had to do with roads that were going through people's neighborhoods that needed to be out for public comment when I was at MnDOT. Alternative text tags, you are never going to hit the mark with everybody. And one of the first workshops that we taught as a company at WeCo, we wound up having two people who were blind having kind of a big fight about, I like long, really descriptive alt tags, and nope, I want it short and concise. So people who are blind are just as different as anyone else and will have different preferences. What we do at WeCo is that we try to kind of hit a sweet spot with alternative text tags and really to more focus on what is the visual user getting that the non-visual user needs to know about. And that sometimes that will warrant a longer alternative text tag. For instance, when I was at MnDOT, we might have like a complicated graph showing something, and that would warrant a long description alternative text tag. But I really think it's asking yourself the question is, if I keep this short, is there something that the non-visual user is going to miss? And just really focus on keeping that information the same for the visual user and the non-visual user. And that's what we use as a guide. Is that helpful at all, Bree? There might be a slight delay. Okay. Any other questions about anything? Doesn't have to be cognitive. My background, I've worked in a few different areas of accessibility. I know just enough about code to be dangerous, but probably focused more on content management in my career. Okay.
Helps answer any questions. Like, I've heard some pretty crazy questions in there. There's always some sort of answer. Somebody who knows.
Great. And of course, we have the incomparable Jen Hurst on the line, who is our accessibility specialist and works with me on document accessibility from California. So she is great at answering questions as well. So I think that I will just turn this back over to Andy unless there is another question. Okay, and of course, if you think of something, our email address, I will type it in. I mean, if you give us a huge amount of questions, we can't answer that, but we can, you know, take a few questions from you if you need to. Just send them over to our accessibility department at accessinfo at the WeCo. Happy to help. So thank you everybody for attending online tonight. It's our first time that we were able to do the live stream, and it was really fun to have you with us. We're really excited about being able to live stream our events and include more people that may not be able to get to beautiful Minneapolis, or don't have time, or, you know, may not be able to come because they live with disabilities. So we're happy to include you. And I'm going to turn you back to Andy. Thank you. Andy?